Recently, I had the opportunity to attend an AI conference that OPPO was holding to tell us about the future of their devices and the fact that they're going to be building this AI phone that's going to be coming in at premium pricing, mid-range pricing, even affordable pricing. And lo and behold, not even 2 weeks later, the Reno 12 Pro comes in, and of course, it provides us that actual physical device that embodies OPPO's vision for AI. In today's video, we're going to check out the Reno 12 Pro 5G with all of the AI functionalities that are built in at the Reno line. We're not talking about the Find X series, we're talking about the Reno. This is TK, let's check it out and see how much AI OPPO is able to fit into this device. Like and subscribe and make sure you hit that bell icon so that you're always notified to whenever we have new videos on the channel. So what we have in front of us is the package. This is the Reno 12 Pro 5G. Again, as you see here, OPPO AI phone. This is what OPPO is going to be focusing for the rest of the year and actually for the foreseeable future, trying to bring more AI phones to the market. Now, again, this is a Reno considered to be the more affordable line of devices from OPPO. This is not the A series, so it's still going to be somewhere in the middle, somewhere between 499 and 599 euros, depending on the 12 and the 12 Pro. But the biggest thing I'll probably say is we're going to be taking a look at all of the AI functionalities that they have built into this device. Now, the first thing we're going to start off by talking about is the packaging itself. This one pretty much includes the device, as well as some instruction manuals, and of course, SIM ejector tool, and only a USB-C to A cable. There is no charger in the box, although it does support fast charging, and we're going to talk about the specifications. But this is pretty much what OPPO's moving in, at least with the 12 Pro and this configuration. No charger in the box, the device, no case, and of course, the USB-C to A cable. So what we're looking at here is a 6.7-inch display. Now, this one is running at basically about 2412 by 1080. It's a 394 ppi display. The biggest thing obviously is front-facing fingerprint sensor. We have obviously ColorOS running in here, running over Android 14. And of course, what we have as far as the actual capacity of the battery itself, we have a 5000 milliampere battery, no wireless charging. This is the Reno line, supported by an 80-watt SuperVOOC charger. So if you have a charger from a previous device that supports 80 watts, this is going to work perfectly for you. We have stereo speakers, and of course on the left side we have nothing else. It's pretty much a clean slate. The color itself, we're going to talk about the fact of what we get here. We have triple camera setup in the back here. It's going to be a 50, 50, and a 12 megapixel camera. The dual 50s are going to be the telephoto and the main sensor, and of course the main sensor is the LYT 600. That's going to be giving us some of the best images that we can get on this device, as well as the ability of obviously recording 4K. The other thing they did here is the front-facing camera that we have in here is also a 50 megapixel camera, also capable of shooting 4K. This is something that we're starting to see with OPPO devices, that we're no longer limited by the front-facing camera being a 1080p resolution. We're finally going into the next level. Also, nicely supports 5G here in the US, although I will say that when I was doing the testing here as far as the speed test in my area, I'll go ahead and swipe that away. We'll go into the results. I ran out of data on my SIM. This was one of my testing SIMs and I ran out, but it was actually clocking in about 400 and 500 megabits down. This is not necessarily the representation of how fast this thing is able to go, but definitely we are able to get 5G again in T-Mobile or on T-Mobile here in the LA area. Now, when we go to the About device, again, this is the OPPO Reno 12 Pro 5G. This is the global edition of this device. It has a built-in 512 gigs of internal storage. It's powered by the Dimensity 7300 Energy Edition. This is a mid-range processor, as we can imagine, from MediaTek. 5000 milliampere, we talked about that one. We also have, obviously, as I mentioned to you guys, a 6.7-inch display. This is going to be 120 hertz refresh rate, 1080p resolution, all the good stuff. 12 gigs of RAM built in, but we're also able to expand it by an additional 12 gigabytes, and that basically uses, we'll say not now, that uses part of the storage from the 512 gigs of storage. Since we have so much, I feel like this is going to be really nice, especially when you're trying to run AI models. And we're going to talk about some of the AI functionalities that we have in here that are built in and some of them that are online. Again, front-facing 50 megapixel as far as the rear two main, the main and the telephoto. And actually, I mistakenly said 12, but this is an 8 megapixel ultra-wide. And of course, running on top of Android 14, and it is running Android, well, ColorOS 14.1, and this is the latest edition. The volume rocker and the power button is on the right side. And of course, we have the IR blaster, a microphone, and a top-mounted speaker here, obviously for the stereo speakers. On the bottom firing speaker, USB-C, the additional microphone. And this is something that I'm actually a little bit surprised. And this is something that we don't see in many devices nowadays. And actually, this supports 2 SIM cards or a SIM card and an SD card. So right now I have one SIM card. This is a T-Mobile SIM. But on the back, you'll notice that this actually looks like an SD card. But if I want to use a second SIM, I can put it in sideways. If I want to use it with an SD card, you could put it straight forward. And now we can support an additional 1 terabyte of storage using micro SD. Really nice to be able to see that. Although we lost the charger in the box, but we seem to have gained some nice functionality. Front fingerprint sensor here is pretty good. I did end up having, well, I actually kind of scratched or scuffed the protector that we have in here. There is one built in already on the device. And as you can see here, the fingerprint sensor works beautifully. And on the left side, we have the Google feed, typical to what we see. Let's go ahead and bring that in. I have gestures turned on, of course. You have the ability of turning on the notification panel or shelf, and you're able to obviously jump in and see all the different settings in here. Pretty much standard to what we've seen before. You probably noticed already that we have AI Studio. This is going to be one of those apps we're going to talk about. And of course, last but not least, Google Play Services. This is a global edition. And one of the biggest things I'll probably say in the general sense is that you're able to basically either use either OPPO's App Store or directly using the Play Store. And I did receive one update since I've received this unit. One of the things I do want to mention here, you'll notice that the dock that we have on the side is pretty much what we've seen before. We have file dock in there, recent files. Of course, we're able to customize the shortcuts in here, swipe up, and we can actually add additional or even add folders. I have the AI Studio built in here, and we're going to talk about some of those images that come out of there. So the first thing we're going to start off with is we're going to talk about the AI Eraser. Now, this previously was only available on the Find X7 Ultra or the Find X7 series, which was in China only. Now it's available globally. First and foremost, this is an image. I went to a really nice garden here, and you'll notice that this image is really, really nice. Although these guys are having tons of fun, obviously this is a beautiful image. I want to be able to enjoy it. So what I want to do here essentially is I'm going to go into the edit function. And I want to make sure that now select that nice option that we have here, which is AI Eraser. Now, AI Eraser now has been upgraded also from what we had with the Find X7 series. And we have 3 sections in here: Smart Lasso, Paint Remover, or People Remover, meaning it's actually going to go through and find the people in this image. So I'm actually just going to go ahead and zoom in a little bit. Actually, let's go ahead and cancel this one. And as long as you're using 2 fingers, you're able to scroll. So look at, put it in there. So obviously we see the people. This is going to be something very simple. So I'm going to say People Remover. I'm going to allow the algorithm built into this actual system to automatically find them. So you notice right there, it recognized the people in there, and it's going to basically remove them. So I'm going to say remove all. And this is the craziness that the AI remover has been able to do on the Find X7 Ultra. And that's what this is. Like, look at this. I mean, I know you see the reflection at the bottom, but let's go ahead and do the compare. Back and forth. This is crazy. Now, obviously, we're not done because the actual image still shows us there, but it didn't recognize them because these are a little bit more distorted. So I'm going to actually go and just say Smart Lasso, and I'm actually just going to do a real quick lasso around here, and I'm going to ask it to basically remove. So you'll notice it selected the area and it went ahead and masked the entire thing. So now when we actually do a compare, we'll go ahead and go compare. You see the top and bottom, back and forth. If I go back to the image itself, it's pretty much there. It's done. It's beautiful. I was actually able, oh, let's go ahead and cancel again. I forgot that. We're able to take this image, and even if there's people in the background, you're either be able to pick them, basically paint over them, or you can actually have them AI removed or basically replaced. And when you're done, you save the image. You can save it as a copy, so you don't have to actually replace the original file, and you're pretty much set. I'll go ahead and say save copy. Now, obviously, I've done this before. Let's go ahead and zoom in. You could see this is literally like you would not have known that there was basically a group of people sitting in here and that we took this image in there. And look how small and how big this image, beautiful, really nice coloring. So here, this is one I actually did before just to kind of test it out to see how it does. I left the reflection in the bottom, but I took the reflection, obviously them in the far. And of course, if I swipe away, this is exactly how the image looked like. So AI Eraser is here. It is beautiful. This is one of the ones, unfortunately, that it is requiring you to have internet access. So if you have a slow internet access, just expect it to take a little bit longer. As long as you're connected to the internet and you obviously have the algorithm built in, meaning when you first install the actual, well, when you first turn on the device and you go in here and hit edit, the module for AI Eraser is not installed. You download it, install it. As long as it's installed, you'll be able to jump into it as easy as this. So the next one that they added in here is AI Studio. Now, AI Studio is basically something that you probably have seen before with different apps that are available online. You upload an image of yourself in a specific format. So we're going to go single, and we're going to say gender, we're going to go male, and we're going to say style. Let's do travel. So in this situation, obviously, it's going to be taking pictures here in front of the Taj Mahal, on top of the mountain, and so on. Now, the one thing you'll notice here overall is that they obviously you need to upload a couple of images. I put in 2 images in here to be able to generate the image. They gave me 5,000 points in here before, so I've been using that. As you can see, I've generated quite a few. And what it's going to do, basically, depending on how busy the queue is, I am second in the queue, and I'm going to give it a second and let it finish. It's going to generate me 4 different scenarios, and you'll notice it's starting to work right now. It says 46 seconds, but it's actually going to go a little bit faster. So we'll give it a second. We'll start seeing at least the first 2 selections selections come up. And as you see there, the first two selections came up. It's finishing it up here at the top. I'll give it a second. And what it does basically is it takes the images that I gave it, and it starts adapting it to the actual system. So first I'll go in here. Now you'll see here, it looks kind of nice, although I feel like the head is a little bit too big. This one's still same configuration. Here it actually kind of starts looking better, and of course it just looks even better here, so we can actually zoom in. You could definitely, it kept the glasses, it kept the beard here, even kept the whites in the beard. And I like the fact that it gave me a little bit more hair. So one thing obviously it'll say is photo generated by AI Studio. That's just to be expected. Now I've done this one as well before, and of course this is the original image that I posted in there. I just took basically a quick selfie, and from there it generated this one. Almost looks like I'm part of the boys in this video, but there's a little bit of a, obviously more like a mech. So AI Studio built in, ready to go, and pretty simple. You just go in, upload a couple of pictures, and what I really like about it is you can actually even do them in groups. It's not limited to one person. You can do a group, meaning 2 people or more. The next feature we're going to talk about is AI Summary. Now, AI Summary is a feature that allows us to actually summarize text. We've seen this before on other devices, but let's say you go to our website. I'm bringing this article here. This is obviously arbitrarily, there's no reason to be something else. If I swipe from the right side, you'll notice now there's 2 additional buttons to the side here panel that we have. AI Summary and AI Speak. So we're going to do them in the order that they're there. We're going to do AI Summary. AI Summary runs an actual scan of the actual site that I was in there, and it's going to generate a summary of the actual article that we're looking at. And of course, it'll start putting in point A, point B, point C. And at the end, it'll give me the ability of either exporting it, saving it, or just basically reading the summary. So here, copy summary, share it, or of course, save to notes. And if I like it, I can put it in there. But what if, let's say I don't want it to do that? Let's say I want it to read the article for me. I'm going to go to AI Speak. It does the exact same speech recognition here, but
HyperOS 2.0 launcher.
And what it does essentially here is it gives me the ability of customizing the experience.
Devs make possible to use.
And it reads it in a natural language. And this is one of the really nice things about this. Let's say you're driving, let's say you're busy, you don't want to necessarily read a long article, but you don't necessarily want to skim through it. This will read it for you. If you don't want to read it or have it read to you, you can go in there and summarize it. Very easy. It's auto-generated whenever you're in a browser in a long text form, and it'll help you basically either summarize it or listen to it without having to worry. So that was AI Summary and AI Speak. Now the next one we're going to look into is AI Recording Summary, which is really, really nice. So what I'm going to say here is I did this recording. I'm going to go ahead and pause it. I recorded this clip of audio explaining what I'm doing in this video, so we're going to listen to it a little bit.
Like, I'm really not sure how this is going to end up being, but this is a situation where brand new.
Okay, so this one, obviously, there's a lot of conversation here. I made it. It's not that long. It's about a minute here, or sorry, what, 40 seconds. But using Summary, it actually does a really decent job of summarizing what I said. So essentially what I recorded here is that I'm going to be making a video about the Reno 12 Pro and talking about all of the AI functionality. So here, AI face, clear face, AI best face, AI Studio, AI Summary, AI Speak, and AI Writer. A whole bunch of different things built in, again, providing us some of those AI functionalities. So again, this is built into the actual recording app that we have in here. Not only does it work and sound great, but also now provides us the ability of summarizing it, again, using the built-in AI system. So AI Summary is built in directly into the recorder. We have it also built into website using the side dock. You'll notice if I go into it, when I'm not actually looking at a long article, it actually does change. It does adapt basically to where you are. If I swipe it away, it goes away. Very nice. So the next feature we're going to talk about is called AI Writer. It's a writing assistant that's built into the system. Again, it shows up in here because that's, again, one of the main shortcuts that shows up everywhere. So let's say I'm going into X and I want to post a tweet. And I swipe on the right side and that pops up right there. I'm going to say AI Writer. You'll notice it's going to come up and it's going to ask me what do I want to do. I'm going to give it a short description of what I want to say and see what it actually gives me back. I want to write a tweet that describes the Reno 12 Pro 5G's main AI features and that it's going to be released tomorrow on the 18th of June. I'll go ahead and give it a second. And again, it does it right there. Get ready for the Reno 12 Pro 5G. It's packed with amazing AI feature that will take your mobile experience to the next level. Don't miss out on its release date tomorrow, June 18th. Stay tuned for the details, Reno, and all of it. I mean, it even added the actual hashtags for me. That's how crazy this is. If you're not happy with the way this is, you can actually say regenerate. You can put that in there. And what I really like about it, obviously, I'm not going to tweet this because I'm recording this video ahead of the launch. I'm obviously not going to break any embargoes. But what I like about it is it'll work with X, it'll work with WhatsApp, Reddit, Instagram, Facebook, WeChat, Airbnb, Amazon, anything that uses a text field that's not a text message. That's one thing I noticed that it doesn't work. But if you have WhatsApp in there, it works perfectly fine. And what you saw there essentially is I wanted it to write something in a general sense, but I didn't know how to put it. It did it for me and it wrote it nicely. Again, the feature goes away when you're not in it, but once you're back in, it'll come up right away. So the next feature we're going to talk about is AI Clear Face. Now, AI Clear Face is intended to help us basically whenever we're taking a group photo, basically three to more people in the same shot. Typically what happens is some people are in the background, some people are in the foreground. So in this image here, and we were on a trip, we just landed at an airport and we just took a quick selfie there. So what I wanted to share with you guys, because this only shows up when we're actually in this experiment. So I was basically doing this on an image, but you'll notice that the camera app itself starts showing the AI group photo is on. Once you see this function, you turn it on, and then once you turn that on, you actually take the image. And when we jump into the actual editing app to look at the image itself, we now have the option of basically looking at it here. This is called the AI Perfect Shot. It analyzes the other images in there, the other faces that are in the foreground, and it actually enhances it. So let's go ahead and AI Clear Face, and it'll try to do the best that it can to clarify the images for the other two people's images in there. Because sometimes what'll happen is the focal length between myself and the two people behind me, it basically makes them a little bit more out of focus. This will clarify the image so that when you're looking at the image itself, you'll see that it's all three faces are very nice and very clear. Built in directly into the camera app, you do need to jump into the camera app and be in selfie mode. So you jump in, photo, front-facing selfie, and as long as it sees three people or more in the image, the mode will turn on and you'll see a little bit of option there. It says group shot. Click that, it turns on, snap the image, and then of course, go back into the image editor and then edit that and get it back to the way you're supposed to. Now, the last AI feature that we have in here is actually something you don't even see, but it helps you get better signal. And that's what they're calling the AI LinkBoost. Essentially, it's the way the antennas are designed and built around this device. We've seen this in the past when they focused the experience of trying to get NFC to be 360 NFC, meaning if you're going to make a payment with your phone or you're trying to get close enough to basically, let's say, use an NFC tag, you don't actually have to tap anymore. You just have to get your phone close enough to the NFC tag and it works beautifully. They used that technology and basically amplified it and put it in there to give you better signal reception. One of the things I talked to you guys about here, I was getting 500 to 600 megabits down when I was connecting directly on 5G here with T-Mobile. So let's go ahead and disconnect the Wi-Fi here. And when you'll notice overall, and as you can see right there, it does connect to 5G here on T-Mobile and it works really nice. The biggest benefit from the AI LinkBoost is, let's say you're going in an area where signal is very low. This is actually going to get the certification because they do have Tower Island certification. It'll come back and catch a signal much faster than most devices. It's focused into providing us the best signal reception for Wi-Fi, connectivity, NFC connection, and all of this is going to provide us the best network connectivity so that A, saves you from having low battery life, meaning the device doesn't have to be searching for signal as much, and B, provides you the best experience using this device. So it's beautiful, it's absolutely fantastic. It definitely has a lot of features on top of the fact, and I didn't mention this at the beginning, is we have a quad curved, a micro curved display on both the front, right and left, and top side of the actual display. So that when you're swiping in, you don't have to have sharp edge of flat display, but it still kind of gives you that flat display experience in the general sense. So gaming on this is not going to disappoint. And that means the experience on this using games like Call of Duty Mobile, you're definitely going to be able to play games at a very nice high refresh rate, and the batteries are going to last you for a long time. And if you want to top it off, 80-watt fast charging on that 5,000 milliampere battery will not disappoint. And this is the best benefits here. You could see here the angles, and of course, obviously this is a video of me playing stereo speakers in here. And the last thing I do want to share with you guys, this is something that I don't think a lot of devices do. I almost forgot about it, but let's say we go in and play our song. And I know usually I play our song, Alex Crindo Jumbo by NCS Release. Typically when I play the song for you guys, we always listen to it and it plays really, really nicely. But let's say look at the volume level right now. So this is playing, and let's say we get to the highest level. This is 100% volume. The Reno 12 Pro 5G has the ability of going beyond that. It's actually up to 300% volume boost. It's a temporary boost that gives you the ability of getting benefit of listening to audio. Let's say you're in a loud environment, you want to be able to have that call, you're listening to a speakerphone, this is going to work for you. 300% volume boost specifically built in directly into the volume rocker in here. You just have to kind of bring it up. You can go to 100, which is your normal, and of course from there, go up there. And this obviously only works when we're listening to it using the speakers. This is not going to work obviously over Bluetooth because there's no way to push it beyond that point. But the overall experience, it's a lot of good things. The best thing I'll probably say, the last thing I will also say is that there is one additional feature that is not unfortunately released yet. And that's actually called the AI Best Face. We've seen this before, again, with other devices. Essentially, you've taken a picture, you've taken a few pictures, but in those pictures that you're taking, for some reason, somebody's eyes were closed or somebody's face was looking somewhere. Like there's something that just made the pictures just a little bit off. But you have three pictures that the combination of all three of those makes a great image. And of course, that's the functionality that's going to basically come up there with the AI best face. Unfortunately, it's not currently on device, so I'm not able to share that with you guys, but it is going to be pushed out in the near future with an OTA update. So that is about the only thing that wasn't available on the device right now. So from everything that they talked about a few weeks ago at the London Summit, I'm actually kind of surprised how fast they were able to put this thing together. Obviously, they've planned this. This device has been in development for much longer. It's just the way I found out about it and how quickly this became an actual product that was the surprising factor. And how well it works on device is really, really nice. I like the functions that are integrated directly into the side dock, because this is something that we brought in last year. And this was actually a very nice function that adds not only the ability of basically, like your recent files or file manager, but also the ability of adding shortcuts. And it exists over everything. It's always present, even if you're watching video. So it makes it really functional so that you can actually use the AI Writer, the AI Summary, the AI, all the other AI functionality, even the AI Speak, so that you can actually have a website read to you built into it. The AI Eraser is absolutely magic. I will say that in some situations, I feel like it's even better than what the Pixel AI Magic Eraser does, because this actually works absolutely fantastic. It is not on device, so it's, again, I say this a lot of time, but just make sure you have a good internet connection and the experience is going to be fantastic. I can't wait to see what other devices OPPO is able to bring in all of these AI functionalities. And not just that, I want to see what other AI functionalities they're able to bring to devices and providing them in the spectrum of devices. They promised an under $1,000 phone that has AI, and they did not disappoint. Again, the Reno 12 will be around 499 euros, and the Reno 12 Pro was going to be about 599 euros. Let me know in the comments below, what do you guys think of the brand new Reno 12 Pro? Is this a device that you guys would consider? Are you big fans of the Reno line? It's more affordable, but still brings in the AI from the Find series. And of course, even more stuff to come in the future. Like and subscribe as usual. Thank you very much for the support. I will see you in the next video.